Hi guys, Shane here, Aus Flight Simmer. Welcome to another episode of Full Flight. Now, if you haven't seen one of these before, this is where we go and conduct a full flight in a different aircraft on different simulators and take you along for the ride. So it's not a full-fledged edit like my other videos. It's just pretty raw and it's all a bit of a chilled session. In today's video, we are checking out the British Aerospace Arvo RJ85. This is part of the QualityWings collection of the BAE 146. It was out for a while ago, but it's been sitting in its cryogenic state for many years and now has been brought back in for prepared version 4. So I thought I would take it for a spin as it's been a while, so please be nice in the comments because it's been a while since I've flown the human hairdryer. Actually, the aircraft hairdryer around a bit, so we'll see how it goes. Should be a bit of a test of the old memory, so to speak. Welcome to the cockpit of the RJ85. I'm just going to open up the window here. So normally I'd do a test drive video on an aircraft and go through all the pros and cons and is it value for money, but I decided not to on this aircraft because it's a bit of an update. Like, the aircraft's been around for a bit, but it's just been updated for version 4, which is a nice and timely, I should say, that it's finally out now. So I've been waiting for this for a while. But as we go through the startups, I'm basically just turning the batteries on, turning the lights on. I'll turn the inner fuel pump on, and then we'll start the APU. So normally I would say, you know, is it value for money? I'm just going to come out and say, yeah, it is. I picked this up for 20 euros, so just under 30 Australian dollars, and this wasn't an update. This just was the full version. As we quickly listen to the APU. But yeah, if you've got some spare cash, it's not a full study level sim, but it's sort of fairly close. I would highly recommend going out there if you want a unique sort of tube liner aircraft, and this thing can land in a lot of different places, so it's pretty cool. Sounds on the APU are pretty good for an old girl. So we just moved over to APU power. We're going to turn all the avionics on and the yaw dampener on. And we'll put some bleed or pack APU bleed air over to the aircraft. Going to go over, which is a pain in the bum, all the way over the co-pilots, and this is where you align your navs, so all the way over there. And now we're going to wait for that to align, and then we'll program the FMC. There we go. So time to program the FMC, and thinking ahead so you guys don't fall asleep and stop watching the video, we're just going to smash it and speed it up. It's pretty easy FMC to program. If you've flown anything a 737 or anything like that, you'll smash this one. This is really basic to get through and nice and easy. No reading instructions are required if you've got a little bit of experience with FMCs. Look at that, how quick is that? We are nearly done and ready to go. So we are all ready for pushback. I'm going to do just Shift P on this one because I haven't used GSX for a while because GSX doesn't like me. We don't really get along, so I've just decided I don't use it, which is a bit of disappointment for when you fly a bit of XP and you had a bit better pushback to go back to Shift P, but that is what it is. So today's flight, if I didn't mention before, we're just doing the old milk run from Melbourne to Sydney. I usually do that if I just want to have a bit of a familiarization flight with an aircraft because it's nice and easy. I know the route pretty well, so it should be a nice scenery and a beautiful day in the clouds today. Back to the cockpit, we're going to start engine 1 of our 4 engines. So I'm just going to turn all the fuel pumps on, so we've got some fuel into the aircraft, and we'll switch to number 1. And we'll turn that into our start position, and then we'll actually start the engine. So pretty simple process for this aircraft. Add the fuel once it gets to about 20 on the NG, and then on 10 on G, and then it will come to life on about 20%. So we can see it rising there, and then right click, and there we go. Engine 1 is coming live, and basically need to repeat another 4 times. And we will do the same thing with, we'll just go over to the right side, so we'll do with engine 4. There we go, switch the starter on and then start the procedure. And spooling up there. And engine number 4. So these engines start up reasonably quick. So because you've got 4 engines, it doesn't take 10 years to actually start it up, which is nice. Particularly, this is an aircraft, if you get your flows right, you can be up and running for a tube liner within minutes. So, which is nice. Sometimes you want to do a flight, but you don't want to take ages doing the pre-flight. So, start engine number 2. Fuel in. There we go, and then we got one more engine to go. Here we go, spooling up. We go to our last engine, which would be 3. So I don't actually know what the startup procedure is, which engine you need to start up with. That's just what I do. I said it's been a while since I've flown this aircraft. I do need to reread the manual, but I'm doing this all from memory for most of the part anyway. And there we go, engine number 3. So I've got a good engine start for all. There we go, spooling up. Now everything's alight. We're going to switch over to engine power, so we'll do that. There we go. We're going to turn everything else on. Hydraulics, electrics, our skids. And then we're going to shut off the APU, and then I need to turn the packs on as well. Just trying to remember what to flick on. There we go. It's off, turn all the heats on, flick those on. We're pretty much nearly ready to go. And the lights are already on. Switch those on as well. Switch to the gens on to reading the right thing, and we're pretty much done and ready to taxi and get out of here. Alrighty, it's time to drop the parking brake. We'll pull the parking brake off and we'll start taxiing. I will say this though, the taxi was pretty intense, as in it's very touchy, but I think that comes because that's from memory, taxiing this aircraft wasn't like it, but I think my rudder pedals are probably nearly extinct, and if they don't extinct themselves, I'll get a hammer out and kill them myself, because my Cytec pedals have had their day. Actually, I should say had their last day, because I don't think they've ever had their day. So very much looking forward at some opportunities to upgrade these rudder pedals and go for something a bit more premium. But we're going to keep taxiing, and I'm thinking ahead of the video being so long, so I'll just sort of cut it up and do a montage as we taxi to a runway 34, which will be departing today. So it's time to pull out on the runway. The flaps are down, aircraft configured, auto throttle is armed and ready to go, but we'll pop the anchors down here and then we will get ready to go. So I'll be quiet now so you guys can enjoy the takeoff, and I'll come back to and talk to you soon once the wheels are gone up.
80 knots. V1. Rotate.
There we go. We are programmed to do an eco departure, so that's why it took us a while to get up to speed down the runway. But we're going to jump to some outside shots as we depart Melbourne. So we are close to our 10,000 feet, so we're pretty much going to turn the lights off, and there's not really much to do left to the flight other than just a monitor as per normal tubeliner flights there. So we'll switch the lights off and turn the seatbelt sign off, and we will continue along our way all the way up to Sydney. So we've been saying that, let's go to a bit of a montage, and then we'll come back to you as we're getting closer to land into Sydney. Welcome back to the cockpit. We've got a beautiful approach in to runway 34 left at Sydney. We're making the Rivet 3 approach. So I've done this many times. My apologies, didn't really show you much cruising footage. There wasn't much to it, and I find that you guys don't want to see much of the cruising stuff, so we just did a bit of a montage. So we're below 5,000 feet. We've got to make one more turn. I do apologise, there is a bit of an issue on landing with my Cytec pedals. And hopefully that issue is going to get fixed in a not too distant future by getting rid of my Cytec pedals. But we're making one more left hand turn, and it got quite cloudy as we moved into Sydney, or approached Sydney anyway, which made things interesting. But it's been a beautiful day to fly in the simulator. I've got a funny feeling I've missed the actual glide slope approach. We should have the city and the runway in sight. So we've captured the ILS, but we've missed the glide slope. So I'm going to take over the aircraft, because as you can see coming in, the puppy lights are there, but they're all white, so we're way too high. We're still 3,000 feet, and we've only got about 4 or 5 nautical miles out. So we're going to have to plunge and dive the RJ85. So we'll start doing that now, and then we'll whack out the anchors. I've still got a little bit of a cloud in front of us there. There we go. Active Sky is doing its cloud whispering feature. One of my favourite things when it comes to Active Sky that this does that. It really gives you that sort of immersive feeling. It's very nice. But like I was saying before, if you haven't picked up this aircraft and you're new to flight sim, it is a fantastic beginner tubeliner. It's very detailed, but not being a study level sim, I'd highly recommend it. And if you've flown this aircraft back in, the old flight simulators, it's worth updating it and picking up again, and you can have some fun flights. I really enjoy. It's a unique aircraft. So. And by the looks of it, we've got traffic being pulled out of us, but that's okay. We're going to make one of those shots there where you go, should I go around, or I'm just going to do all the wrong things and break all the procedures and just go for it. So we're going to go for it. So hopefully we don't get too much of disruption from this aircraft taking out. But we're flying pretty slow, so we're down just to nearly under 1,000 feet. There we go. So just going under 1,000 feet, and I think we've got one red puppy light. So I'm going to be quiet now. Please enjoy the approach into runway 34 left, and we'll get rid of the air brakes there, and I'll come back to you just as we've touched down.
300. Approaching decision height.
Glide slope.
Minimums. $100. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Not bad landing for a first time in a long time. I think we bounced a little bit, but let's check out the replay. There we go. So we're going to make a right turn here and turn off the runway and make our way to the gate. So if you like flight sim videos, I'll leave one of my other favorites up here. Please go and check it out. It'd be much appreciated. And if you liked the video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content. So all in all, thank you very much for coming for a quick flight with me. It's been a lot of fun to bring you guys along, and thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.